Thomas Denny Sanford was a self-made billionaire who got rich in the banking and subprime credit card industry with Sioux Falls-based First Premier Bank and Premier Bank Card. He also took the giving pledge with other famous billionaires such as Bill Gates and Warren Buffett that he would, quote, die broke. He gifted the Sioux Falls-based healthcare system, which bears his name, nearly $1 billion. However, he also gave away millions to other organizations in South Dakota and throughout the country. In 2014, former KELOLAND reporter Angela Kennecke traveled to San Diego, where Sanford had one of his homes. KELOLAND's Jordan Smith takes us through what she learned after he agreed to a rare interview about his life and what motivated him to philanthropy.
Denny Sanford came from humble beginnings in East St. Paul, Minnesota. His father ran a garment wholesale business. William Sanford's business partner, Thomas Denny, offered to put $50 in a savings account if Sanford named his son after him.
I thought I was the wealthiest kid in the world. I mean, 8, 10 years old, and I've got $50. Are you kidding? You know, that was about 1940.
When he was just 4 years old, Sanford's mother, Edith, died of breast cancer. Sanford Health's breast center is named after her. At just 8 years old, Sanford started working at his father's business. At 18, he ended up in jail after a drunken brawl. The judge gave him an ultimatum to either attend college or serve a sentence in juvenile detention. He chose the University of Minnesota.
It was the biggest turning point in my life, really, truly. Yeah, it was my wake-up call, I call it.
After college, Sanford started out as a salesman, eventually starting his own building materials company, which he sold for $20 million at the age of 45. In 1986, he took over a small bank in South Dakota for a friend. He renamed it First Premier Bank, and then he started Premier Bank Card. The bank paid for naming rights of the Sioux Falls Event Center, often referred to as the T. Denny.
So is it important to you to have things named after you? Because you've got quite a bit named after you now. Is that important?
In some regards it is, but I've done a lot where things are not named after me.
The majority of Denny Sanford's donations have been to help children. His first big gift was $2 million to the Children's Home Society in 1998. Since then, most of the money he's given away has been in South Dakota. In addition to Sanford Health, he's also donated to the Crazy Horse Monument, the Sanford Underground Research Facility, the State Theater, USD Law School, Dakota State University's Cybersecurity Program, and others.
South Dakota, you've done a lot in a lot of different areas for South Dakota.
Well, look what South Dakota's done for Denny Sanford. There is not another state that could have provided me the opportunities that South Dakota did. That's payback time, you know? And very happily payback time.
Outside of South Dakota, Sanford has donated millions for research at the Sanford Burnham Priebus Medical Discovery Institute in San Diego, and $350 million to the National University System, which expanded the Sanford Harmony program. He spoke about that program in 2014.
My legacy, my single biggest legacy, will be ultimately reducing the divorce rate in this country. Trying to teach very young children how to appreciate, acknowledge, be friends with the opposite gender. And Arizona State came along with a little person by the name of Z. And here's Z. And this will be in every classroom. Z will be visiting every classroom. And the teacher says, okay, kids, we have a new friend in our class today, and that's Z.
More recently, Sanford gifted $50 million earlier this year to purchase the current site of Smithfield Foods. Once the 120 acres of land is redeveloped, it will be known as the Sanford District.
Remediating and tearing down 120 acres is expensive. So without that gift, it would have been hard for this deal to come together. And so once again, Denny stepped up and made something come together that without it, I'm not sure it would have.
Sanford's reputation as a fun-loving thrill seeker earned him the nickname Wolt,
Which stands for?
World's oldest living teenager.
Accurate?
Yeah, pretty accurate, I thought. Yeah.
Sanford told us in 2014 he wanted to continue working as long as possible, but knew he wouldn't live forever.
There's a great term in the bar business. I've never been in the bar business, but 86, that guy, He's had too much to drink. Well, get him out. So 86 would be a good number for me. I'd be really comfortable with that.
He hoped to be remembered for his philanthropy in the medical industry.
What would be written on what would be your epitaph if you could write it right now for yourself?
He lived to cure. I just came up with that, thanks.
And Sanford was 90 years old when he died. He's survived by his brother Charles Chuck Sanford, 2 sons, Scott and Bill, and 3 grandchildren. In August of 2020, Sanford Health acknowledged that T. Denny Sanford was the subject of a child pornography investigation. All information on that investigation remains sealed and no charges were ever filed. You can watch our profile series on Sanford from 2014 on this story on KELOLAND.com.